Now, you have old white women going to Africa, exploiting the black man's body with their frivolous desire. They are wrinkled up and old in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, want to reclaim their youth. They're exploiting ignorance and poverty. How come they don't do that in America or Europe? Exploit black males. They couldn't get, very few of them could get a black male. There'd be some, but they go all the way to Africa. And because of some poverty and ignorance there, really, exploiting the black male. Now, in a couple of months, I'd be 82. But I have no desire for frivolous affairs. No desire for frivolous. And a person could have sex desires all their life. But again, even at 82, I have no desire for frivolous affairs. And those things, like an old dog, you can see them if you can look and see them for what they are. Those the same thing who will be so prejudiced against black people, except when they want to get their lust on. At that age, they lusted, trying to suck up the energy of some youth from black bodies. Of course, there are few black women who desire more than a few. But notice, like Erica Badu, who's about 50, and I heard that she's engaged to a guy 27, or Mary J. Blige, I think she was flirting with a much younger guy, or Keisha Cole, who was once with a couple of much younger guys. But those women are still looking very good. And Erica Badu is about 50, and she still look good. She compares herself off for much younger, and Mary J. Blige also. But those Caucasian women going to Africa is far from looking good. Looking like wrinkled up dogs. I mean, I'm saying what I said. It's a slip out, but they exploited. And they don't think that they don't have any racism in them. No. They still have that think that so-called superiority. They want to suck up the energy. Want to be desired by younger men. It's a win-win for the woman. The old white woman is a win-win for them. But it's a lose-lose for the black male. And not only the old white women, but old white men also go to places like Gambia. I don't know why they're always picking Gambia or Kenya or all over Africa, but their particular place seems to be Gambia and Kenya. For shame. Something had to be done. exploiting ignorance and poverty. The woman, but the men also, the Caucasian men, feeding off their energy, exploiting them, their animalistic like self. And at that age, they should have more scruples. And one woman, Caucasian woman at 50, who used to be a supermodel, is crying, having fits because younger men are not giving them the attention they once did. Oh, whoop-de-doo, what do you expect? Like I say, some women at 50 look fit, or even at 60. There's some, even Caucasian women who may look pretty good at 50 and 60. And plenty of black women that does. They say black don't crack. I don't know where they get that from. But you age no matter what. You're going to age. Some slower than others. Whether they eat correctly and exercise or not. But shame on them. Shame on them. And it's like an old man want to exploit a child almost. That's the sickness that had to be put off from among us. I don't know why that's the sickness. A man, when they have sex with a child, that man had to be put off from around us, put off from around the earth existence. But even, forget about the child, but even the most old, an adult woman who's young, a man at a certain age, like my age, like I said, in a couple of months I'll be 82, without any frivolous desire for a frivolous affair. That's what it is, frivolous. Stupidity, foolishness, a foolish old white woman, an foolish old white man, and some foolish black men too, who follow in the footsteps. But even in the culture of Africa, sometimes they had, I heard or read, that they had old men marrying babies almost, or a young child, 9 years old, 8 years old, even almost a toddler. That's what I heard. And somebody can brag about African culture. There's a lot of things in African culture that should go. Just like female genital mutilations. Where they mutilate a woman's clitoris or labia, I guess to reduce the sexual appetite, to curb that. And I even seen a video where the mothers used to mutilate a young child's breasts to try to keep it from growing. Not to cut it off, but used to press it with some hot iron. Ignorant. And they say that's part of African culture. I mentioned about 3 different things that is part of African so-called culture. Where did it come from? It's ignorance. And it has to go. Same as cutting up albino parts. You see an albino killing them and cutting their parts up and think that's lucky. That's part of some of the African culture and belief. that have to go. Or a lot of belief of the witchcraft, where men go to become rich, try to become rich, may involve even child sacrifice and so forth, for the hunger for riches or success, even in their business or in their ministry or whatever, or their political life. There's some that still believe in that in Africa. So a lot of African culture that have to go. Now, polygamy, I don't see that as bad or good or bad, but it's helpful for the female who will not be left alone. But a lot of men use it for status symbol or for lust. And it engender hatred between some women because of jealousy. So it's good and it's bad in that. It's very good and it's bad in that the women have helpers. And some women don't want to have sex every time the husband wants to. But if he have more than one wife, he could satisfy his sexual appetite. And she have help sometime in household. And some women may not be able to have children, but if they are in a polygamous marriage, she can mother other women's children. So there's good and there's bad if a man could afford it. But I see some video or picture of men look like they're poor with 2 or 3 wives. A poor man should not do that. And some intelligent man satisfy with one. Satisfied with one. But going back to the white woman, the wrinkled face, prune face, white women who cannot get a man, even a man of their own age in their own country, of the UK or any place else in Europe or America. Much less a young man. And they're lonely. Do they think that those men really love them? Those men is paying more of the price that they think they're paying. Nothing in life is free. So they may get a little bit of money at the sake of their soul and their spirit. It's just like people in bestiality. It's a sin against the spirit, a sin against the soul. And this is just the plain truth. Because of their foolishness. Excuse me. The desire for youth. Desire for youth. And the old white woman with desire for the black body. And lust. Like Kim Kardashian and her family. And everybody praised, talking about how she looked good. and see the hell in the situation Kenya is in. Even with all his money, he said he claimed to be the richest black man in America. That's his claim. But it's not substantiated. Robert F. Smith. And Robert F. Smith, a multi-billionaire, over $6 billion, paid the price, made a mistake. And he can't get the divorce from this white woman he married, a Playboy bunny. That was a mistake. It's an error. Maybe that's the price they have to pay to become wealthy. The price is their soul. So he's a billionaire, black billionaire, with a good mind, good soul, good spirit. Seemed to be, but married to that Caucasian woman. You can't get rid of it. You have too much to lose. Like Dr. Gray, they call him a doctor. He's not a real doctor, but they call him Dr. Gray. Well, I think you have to pay $100 million to his wife, that Caucasian woman, that he stole from another black guy, an athlete. I think the wife was married to a black athlete. He stole the woman from other black athlete. Like Michael Jordan. Another black guy who was a billionaire married to a Caucasian woman. And he had to stay asleep. And one day you see pictures of him with tears coming down his eye. I guess he's saying, what a fool I've been. That's the price of success. It seemed to be, because that's a pattern. Some kind of witchcraft's going on. Some type of witchcraft. Just use logic. No black man, especially a billionaire, with all the choices and a beautiful black woman. Scientifically, they are beautiful. I mean, there's beautiful brown woman, beige skin, caramel, tan woman too. But the black women, not only are they beautiful, but the melanin is beneficial, associated with the sun, called the sun or the arten itself. And you could engender a heritage from them without losing yourself. So it's always foolishness, frivolous foolishness, ignorance. That caused a black man to forsake his own beautiful black woman. For that is not even human. So those things, as I wrap it up, exploiting men in Africa sexually, energetically, they getting that energy, looking for a new lease for life before they die, I guess. Want to have the joy that they wanted to do all their life. And when they get old, they fulfill that desire, that fantasy. But a sick desire. And they have no scruples about it. They haven't joked. They think it's normal. Well, it's a good thing. They have a win-win situation.